Hello, everybody, and welcome to your geography session. I know that we all know the meaning of geography, that we're going to be learning about the Earth. The Earth is indeed a magical place, and we're just going to discover some of its magical features through our very first geography chapter, which is the Earth and the graticules. As you can see in this image, like we discussed in class, the earth is on our shoulders, on the shoulder of the children, because we are responsible for the place we live in and all that we create. Today, our objective is that we will be able to identify the lines of latitude and longitude and explain how they are helpful map tools. There are many new words that we are not able to explain. By the end of this chapter, we should be able to understand exactly what they mean and its features. So let's begin. There's a fun activity here where we're going to help Dobby find his home. We can see that he has no master. So can we help Dobby locate his home? There are two pictures here. In one, I can easily see that I can locate the home. But if I were to explain this to somebody else, how would I tell where he lives or how would I help him reach there? कैसे बता पाऊंगी मैं ये कि कहाँ रहता है वो? I can say that Dobby's home is to the north of the trees because trees के ऊपर है and it is to the east of this building and it is to the west of this other tower, but it can be anywhere, right? It can be here, it can be here. I'm not exactly able to tell that it is here. But if I see the second picture, I can see that there are some lines that are drawn and there are numbers written, and I can very easily locate Dobby's home then. I can say that it is vertically, यानी कि स्टैंडिंग लाइन में 5th नंबर पे है और स्लीपिंग लाइन में जो हमारे हॉरिजॉन्टल लाइंस है उस पे इट इज ऑन द 6th नंबर. सो इफ आई काउंट, अगर मुझे ये सब दिया नहीं है फिर भी मैं बता पाऊंगी कि नंबर 5 on the vertical lines, so 1 2 3 4 and 5 here, and it is on number 6 in the horizontal lines. तो exact location मैं बता पाऊंगी. So this is this activity and we were able to locate it. I think we were able to locate it more easily in the second picture because we were able to tell the exact location without any difficulty, right? Now, if I had to take this example of Dobby's home and extend it to a state, how would I do it? I can see a few steps that have been mentioned, which is going to ease this a little bit for me. So I will look at a place on the map. I will look at the intersecting lines and their number, like I did for Dobby's home, right? I said that it was on 5 in the standing lines and 6 in the sleeping lines, and I was able to tell it was an intersection. Intersection यानी जहाँ पे cross बन जाता है, okay, intersect करता है वो. Then I will write that location down and I will think about how these lines have helped me, right? So 4 steps: look. I will look at the intersecting lines next. I will write down the location and I will think about the lines, right? The 4 steps we went over: look at the map, intersecting lines, write it down and think how they help me. I hope you're clear till here. Please pause the video to revise the 4 steps because these are the most important steps that will help us. Here I can see that there is a map of Maharashtra where we live, right? Now we live in Mumbai. So I'm thinking, how can we find Mumbai on this map very easily? I'm looking at my 4 steps again. I'm thinking of it. My first step was look at the map, right? I'm looking at the map. I can see that there are similar lines over here also, just like there was in finding Dobby's home. Then my second step was that I have to look at the intersection. Now, which intersection will I find? First, let me see where is Mumbai. Okay, this is Mumbai. I have found it. My next step is looking at the intersecting lines. So the intersection का मतलब cross होता है, मैंने देखा. So looking at the cross, I can see that it is at some 19 N. I don't know the meaning of that, but I can see that that is a number that is used on both the sides. And I can see that it is at 73 degree E. Again, I don't know the meaning of this, but I will note it down that these are the numbers that I have to keep in mind. And then I will write it down, right? My next step was to write it down. So I will just mention that 19N and 73E. Okay, 73E. This was degrees. Okay, I have written it down and I have to think how these lines help me. So when I'm thinking of this, I can think that without even without the lines, I would not be able to place it exactly. It could have been anywhere and it would have been difficult for me to explain it to somebody else. And there are also many other places on the map, but with the help of these lines, I'm able to say very easily the exact location of Mumbai and not any other place, right? So my 4 steps are complete. And this is helping me very easily to locate where Mumbai is in this map. I have completed these steps. I would request each of you to pause the video and note these steps down so that you will be able to write it and think about our 4 steps as you write it. Some thinking questions that you can pause and wonder what were some other places that you could see on the map. I think I saw Palghar, I think I saw Pune. And why do I think that there were lines drawn on this map? I'm a little confused about that. I'm not sure why there were lines on the map, but I know that the lines definitely helped me because I was able to tell the places very, very easily with the help of those lines. Now I saw Derby's home, which was an extremely small place. Then I looked at Maharashtra, which is a state. Now I'm thinking if we can draw these lines on the entire earth, the entire world, पूरी दुनिया में क्या ऐसे lines draw कर सकते हैं? कितना आसान होगा फिर जगह बताने में? मैं exact location बता पाऊंगी हर एक जगह का. But I think it would be very difficult. Why is it that I can't draw lines on the earth? Because I have learned landforms in science and I know that there are forests, there are oceans, there are mountains, and everything is of a different surface. The deserts are there. Everything, the surface is very uneven. यानी एकदम ऊबड़ खाबड़ है. मैं बता नहीं, मैं line straight lines नहीं draw कर पाऊंगी. तो it is almost impossible. यानी नामुमकिन है पूरे अर्थ पे लाइंस ड्रॉ करना. तो अगर जगह बताना है तो मैं कैसे कर सकती हूँ? मैं सोच रही हूँ what could be easy. मैप पे तो हमने लाइन ड्रॉ कर दिया, लेकिन मैप तो फ्लैट होता है और तो राउंड होता है, ये मैंने सीखा है. Oh yes, I know of one friend of ours, which is the globe. The globe looks like the earth. It is a miniature earth. I have my continents, I have my oceans. I have learned this as well. And I think we can draw lines on this particular globe very, very easily. So I'm thinking that this is a good idea. It seems and feels exactly like the earth. Now, when I look at the globe, I know a few things already, but let's quickly revise our directions. Directions बहुत important है, तो इसे ध्यान से देखना. हमेशा याद रखना, नॉर्थ ऊपर की तरफ होता है. ओके, नॉर्थ ऊपर की तरफ होता है और ये सबसे आसान होता है हमें याद रखने के लिए. हमें अगर नॉर्थ का रास्ता पता है तो हम बाकी भी बता पाएंगे बहुत इजीली. साउथ उसके ठीक ऑपोजिट होता है. सो साउथ नीचे है east is on the right side, so you can remember like that, and west is on the left side. तो ये हमें हमेशा ध्यान रखना है डायरेक्शंस हमारे। और हमने 5th स्टैंडर्ड में भी सीखा है कि इक्वेटर जो है, इक्वेटर डिवाइड्स द अर्थ इनटू 2 इक्वल हाफ्स, राइट? सो आई कैन थिंक ऑफ इट एज अ वाटरमेलन। वाटरमेलन को कैसे हम आधा काटते हैं, राइट? आधा काटते हैं स्लीपिंग डायरेक्शन में, तो इक्वेटर अर्थ को भी वैसे ही करता है। और वो जो दो spheres, it is a sphere shape, right? A 3D circle is called a sphere. So the earth is a sphere. So why is it called a hemisphere? An hemisphere is a half of it. And since it is in the north, it is called as the northern hemisphere. और जो साउथ में है, it is called the southern hemisphere. Okay, so the equator divides the earth into 2 equal halves. जो नॉर्थ में है वो है नॉर्दर्न हेमिस्फीयर, जो साउथ में है वो है सदर्न हेमिस्फीयर। ठीक है, इसमें भी मुझे कुछ लाइंस दिख रहे हैं ग्लोब पे, सो आई एम थिंकिंग इफ इट इज रिलेटेड टू व्हाट आई हैड लर्नड अर्लियर। Oh yes, it is. So the sleeping lines that I saw are the ones that are called latitudes. What are they called? They are called, say it out loud with me, they are called latitudes. Latitudes. Okay, so I can see that they are sleeping lines. So if they are sleeping lines and I can see this, I think it is going from the west to east or east to west direction. Yani sleeping lines की तरह जा रहे हैं. It is going just like that on the globe, right? It is going from west to east or east to west direction. So I will remember this when I am doing the sleeping lines that I saw were the latitudes. Okay, this picture is helping me understand. Now the equator, since it divides the earth equally, I can start with that. That is considered as 0. Okay, that is considered as 0. Why that is considered as 0? Because वो हमें आसानी से पता चल जाता है, इक्वल कर देता है हमारे दोनों हेमिस्फीयर्स को, है ना? और ऊपर हमारा नॉर्थ पोल है और नीचे हमारा साउथ पोल है. I can see 2 proper semicircles, right? Now, what does this latitude do? This latitude helps us to tell whether a particular place, now suppose a place is over here. If it is over here, I can tell that where is it, this particular place, ये equator है. मैंने मैथ्स में डिग्रीज भी सीखा है, तो मुझे पता चल रहा है कि ये है 60 डिग्रीज. And this place is, I think, I'm not able to tell exactly, but I think this is in the north of the equator. ये तो मुझे पता चल ही रहा है, and it is in the northern hemisphere. और ये 60 अवे है 0 से, यानी अगर मैं एंगल्स की तरह सोचूं तो मुझे लग रहा है कि ये है 60 डिग्रीज नॉर्थ शायद से. और मैं ये बता पा रही हूँ सिर्फ ये लाइंस के कारण, और इक्वेटर ने हमें हेल्प किया, एंगल्स भी हमें दिख रहे हैं, तो आई एम थिंकिंग दिस इज 60 डिग्रीज नॉर्थ. सो शायद ये मुझे हेल्प कर रहा है. और नीचे वैसे ही साउथ पोल है, and this is going to tell us the direction of the southern part of it. So when we think of latitude, first of all, remember your protractor, like we learned degrees. Abhi latitudes are the horizontal lines on the globe. Horizontal yani sleeping lines. Didi has also made this figure over here so that it's easy for us to understand. It goes from 0 degree to 90 degrees north and south. Okay, so now why is it stopping at 90 degrees? Protractor में तो 180 तक होता है, 0 to 180 तक का होता है. 90 degrees में क्या है, हम यहाँ पे रुक रहे हैं हमारे नॉर्थ पोल और साउथ पोल पे. ठीक है, यहाँ पे आके हम रुक जा रहे हैं, हम ये साइड पे नहीं जा रहे हैं. ओके, और ये साइड पे भी नॉर्थ और साउथ तो सेम ही रहेगा ना, it will be the same. So this is our equal part of it. Okay, this is equal. ये साइड पे जैसे है वैसे ही ये साइड पे है, but it is just telling us the north and south, and the north pole and the south pole will help us measure that. ये यहाँ पे आके रुक जाता है. These are also called parallels of latitude. Parallels क्यों? बिकॉज ये लाइंस जो है पैरेलल होते हैं. दीज लाइंस आर पैरेलल, यानी वो कभी जुड़ते नहीं है, बस बाजू बाजू से चले जाते हैं. हम देख सकते हैं कि ये जो स्लीपिंग लाइन है और ये जो स्लीपिंग लाइन है बाजू बाजू से जा रहे, मिल नहीं रही है वो कहीं पे भी, सारे लाइंस ऐसे ही है. तो दिस इज द रीजन इट इज कॉल्ड पैरेलल्स ऑफ लैटिट्यूड. एंड दे टेल अस लाइक दीदी सेड, इफ अ प्लेस इज लोकेटेड ओवर हियर, मैं बता पा रही हूँ कि ये जगह कितना नॉर्थ पे है इक्वेटर से, है ना. और अगर मेरा जगह है यहाँ पे, मैं बता पा रही हूँ कितने साउथ पे है ये हमारे इक्वेटर से कितने नीचे है ये, या कितना ऊपर है, मैं बता पा रही हूँ. हम ऐसे याद रख सकते हैं ऐसे. एन इजी वे टू रिमेम्बर दिस इज लैटिट्यूड्स मींस लैटरल. लैटरल का मतलब होता है बाजू बाजू में, साइड. ओके, आई वुड से pause this video, note down these points in your notebook so it will be helpful for us to remember. Revise it quickly. Latitudes are horizontal lines 0 to 90 degrees. 90 क्यों दीदी ने explain किया. They are also called as parallels. Parallels क्यों, क्योंकि वो बाजू बाजू से जाते हैं, जुड़ते नहीं हैं. नॉर्थ और साउथ का बताते हैं, हमने एग्जाम्पल ले लिया. और लैटिट्यूड्स कैसे याद रखेंगे, लैटरल से. ओके, सो वेरी वेरी इजी. Let us look at longitudes now. जैसे हमारा इक्वेटर था ना, इक्वेटर ने कैसे कट कर दिया हमारे अर्थ को हाफ में, राइट. इट कट द अर्थ इनटू हाफ हॉरिजॉन्टली. दिस इज द इक्वेटर, राइट. Now there is an imaginary line just like that which is cutting it vertically. This is called the prime meridian. Okay, this is called the prime meridian. Now this is something new for us. So equator cuts it horizontally. Vertically we have the prime meridian. Remember this word, everybody. Prime meridian. Okay, so this, you can see this line that is cutting the earth. Now what does this do, what does this do? Okay, this is one, and just like that there are others, right. There are many others. I can see so many lines. Prime meridian is the 0 degrees when it comes to longitudes. जैसे latitude में हमने बोला ना इक्वेटर आसान कर देता है तो हम उसको 0 मान लेते हैं, वैसे ही प्रोट्रैक्टर याद रखना. प्रोट्रैक्टर में कैसे 0 से स्टार्ट होता है ना, वैसे ही. तो इसमें हम प्राइम मेरिडियन को बेस लेके 0 डिग्रीज मार्क कर रहे हैं. ओके, सो दैट वील बी एबल टू मेजर इट वेरी वेरी इजीली. So this is our starting point. Now what, नाउ थिंक हम अभी प्रोट्रैक्टर को घुमा देंगे थोड़ा सा. लैटिट्यूड्स में हमने कैसे देखा था, इट वाज इन द स्लीपिंग डायरेक्शन. नाउ हाउ इज इट, इट इज इन द स्टैंडिंग डायरेक्शन, राइट. दिस इज माय प्राइम मेरिडियन. ये जो हमने बोला 0 डिग्रीज पे हम स्टार्ट करेंगे, दिस इज माय प्राइम मेरिडियन. ये जो बेस लाइन है पूरा सा, दिस इज माय प्राइम मेरिडियन, एंड इट इज रिमाइंडिंग मी ऑफ स्टैंडिंग लाइंस, सो इट मेक्स इट इजी फॉर मी. Now all the vertical lines जो standing lines globe पे थे वो है हमारे longitudes. Okay, longitudes. Now these lines run from 0 degrees to 180 degrees east and west. ईस्ट एंड वेस्ट क्यों, क्योंकि डायरेक्शंस देख रही हूं मैं और मुझे दिख रहा है मेरे लाइंस यहाँ यहाँ हर जगह पे है, राइट. द लाइंस आर देयर एवरीवेयर and it is there in the east direction, yani ki this side as well as this side. It is there on both the sides. That is why it is running from east to west. Now these lines are also called as meridians of longitude. Latitudes ka naam kya tha? I'm thinking about it. It was also called as parallels, correct. Okay, now longitudes are also called as the meridians of longitude. Now this tells me where a place is located, either on the east or on the west of a point. यानी कहाँ से मैं measure करूंगी, again protractor का ध्यान दे दो. protractor जैसा सोचो, अगर कोई जगह यहाँ पे है, so I will see starting from zero, how far away is it from the prime meridian. And if it is in the right side, I will call it east. If it is on the other side, it will be west. ऐसे ही एक protractor यहाँ पे लगा लो. Okay, same thing we will do. This is an easy way to remember. This is a shortcut to remember which Didi has taught you all. Okay, so this is just for our understanding of how you can measure it. This will tell us the directions of the east and of the west. North and south ka, from where do we come to know? The latitudes will help me, right? I saw that we will measure it from the equator, and for longitudes, the prime meridian will help me to tell me the directions on the east and the west. This again, pause, rewatch it if you are confused. Okay, so this will help us quickly recap. I will mark my directions first. पहले मैं north mark कर दूंगी. North के ठीक opposite south, east and west, right? In the northern direction is the North Pole and the South Pole, which will mark the end for me easily, right? Now the equator divides it in the east-west direction in an equal into equal parts. So we will mark it as 0 degree. Similarly, the prime meridian is helping me to measure over here. So this is my 0 degrees. Now I will imagine my protractor, and this will go from 0 to 90 degrees. 0 to 90 degrees in both the directions, right? In both the directions it will go. And this will go from 0 to 180 degrees, right? This will go from 0 to 180 degrees. You have to imagine that it is going to be cut and you will be able to see the degrees inside. Okay, we will learn more about this, so don't worry about it. This is just for us to understand what are latitudes and longitudes and how they are helpful to us. We saw that example of Derby, then we saw the example of Mumbai. Now we're just expanding that to the entire world, right? We will be able to tell very, very easily. Try looking at a globe if you have one, or you can definitely Google and watch some videos about it to make our learning easy. If you have any doubts, you can definitely get them clarified. But before that, we are going to have a very fun activity where we will create our own globe. So we will be able to understand this concept much better because we will create it and we will explain it to the class. So just like Didi has created this video for each of you, you will create your own globe. Now, how will we be able to do this? You can take any spherical objects. Spherical object yani kya? Any object which is round. Okay, a 3D circle is called a sphere. So any 3D circle you can take, like a ball that you have at home, jo smiley ball rehta hai, or an orange, anything you can take. Orange पे आप देखोगे पहले से ही lines है, so you are able to mark it very, very easily. The next step that you will do after you take this is that you will draw these latitudes or horizontal lines and longitudes, and this is creating your own personal globe, right? I will also share the link of a video that you can watch if you want to create this. We will be learning more about this in our next class. So please don't forget to make this and you will be explaining it to the class next time, and we will be using your globe to identify more things in class. So don't forget to record and share your recordings with Didi, and I will be sharing it with the class. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Reach out if you have any questions. There is a worksheet that will be reaching you, and we need to complete our work by the evening. Thank you so much.